How's everybody doing today?
Very
There
good.
now.
All right. Well, we got a full moon tomorrow morning here in the United
Okay.
States. That means
Yeah.
midday, Adrian, tomorrow for you guys in Europe.
Hey.
Okay.
And that's a it's a peak, right? It's like a collective point over from the last 2 weeks, and we're crescendoing into something we're bringing about, and then we are the next 2 weeks wrapping it all up. So it's a cycle every month, but it's not always in line with the calendar, of course. All right, I think we're streaming. Let's double check the stream. Hopefully, I'm going to all the right channels. Yes. Yes. All right, we are live. So let's bring the camera up. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. That means
Yeah.
Synergy Solutions. All right, so remote group quantum healing. We are streaming this public, so this is going to 7 channels right now, and of course all the doctors are on. And if this is your first time tuning in, this is remote quantum healing. We use a technique called Corin specific technique, and this gives us the ability to identify when, where, and how to create a shift in your beingness of what it is to be a human, so that you can have a better outcome in life. You can be more aligned, mind, body, spirit, and soul. And that's the nature of how we break down and how we get well. Is our body is overwhelmed by stresses, and or it's strengthened by stresses. And Dr. George, you were just talking about that. Let me turn the music down because I want to hear what you have to say here, and I think it's so important that we all hear this. So, Dr. George, you were just talking about stress and COVID and virus and this nature of chiropractic and what chiropractic does for people. It's not just back pain and neck pain and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Grow from it and heal from it and evolve and all the things that living things do. When there's more stress coming in than we can handle, like right now, it's possible to create something called a subluxation, which is a stress overload. So now instead of the nervous system flowing information in life, it's storing it, it's holding on to some of it. So the flow of life is reduced and your body begins to be a little more dead than alive. And that's not cool. So by being adjusted, it gives your body a second chance to process that stress for growth. And there's no other thing on earth that does that deliberately that I know of. Chiropractic is unique and indispensable in those ways. You can go out for a walk and do healthy lifestyle habits and feel like you're handling the stress well, but without the specificity of the adjustment, it's just not happening.
So you mentioned a adjustment, chiropractic, and the average person, I think, this is my opinion, thinks chiropractic is for neck pain and back pain. And what you're saying is it's more about restoring function.
Restoring normal function, yeah, it allows normal function to show back up again. Our interaction with a person is not to reduce pain or to treat any condition. It's to recognize that in its natural state, the body has everything it needs to be perfectly well, except food, but in its natural state, it can seek out the right food.
Mm.
But as we subluxate, we become, if we're supposed to operate at 1,000 watts, we're operating at less and less wattage. And some part of the machine is not functioning up to spec and you're falling apart.
And
So it's not about waiting for symptoms. It's about like getting the idea and then just getting checked on a regular basis.
and how does that play in? And anyone can chime in on this one. How does that play in with the nature of virus and the nature of immune system and what we're all going through right now, and and perhaps maybe even been overblown with this whole virus concern. So we'll chime in on that, and anyone can raise their hand, so to speak, and we'll talk about that real quick. So, Dr. George, still in the hot
Mm,
seat.
okay. Viruses like us are part of nature. Arnaud Bernier, famous chiropractor, used to say that a virus is a genetic update. It's part of how we sense the world. These are natural, normal things. And even the manufactured or altered ones in a laboratory, like this one, is clearly not a naturally occurring thing. It's somebody tweaked it a little bit. Our innate intelligence of the body is still up to the task of sorting this baby out. Because anything we can make with our minds, I think the innate intelligence of the body is still smarter than that. Maybe that's what all the junk DNA is doing, is waiting for something like this. And the fact is, the vast majority of people exposed to this thing are not dying. So that takes a serious level down a whole bunch, unless you're watching the news all day long. And then it's really serious.
Right, because causing illness, causing sickness, causing dis-ease is not just virus. In fact, fear is one of the biggest causes of things like this that can overwhelm the body, overwhelm the nervous system, overwhelm the immune system. Now, I've been diving into the virologists' definition of what a virus is, and it's quite different than what the average person is hearing out there. And it seems to be that virus is actually now there can be just like good bacteria in the body and bad bacteria in the body. There's a microbiome. Well, there's a virome. There's good viruses in our body, and of course, there's negative viruses. And part of the role of virus is like a soap. It's like a solvent. It's to eat away dead tissue. There's no, if you look at a virus in a microscope, there's no organs of respiration, of digestion, of function. There's no brain. It's dead. It's literally dead. And so there's a whole different story about what it is that the average person's not seeing. And so then for me, it becomes the conversation of, well, how does one ensure their own strength and therefore, and of course, help others ensure their own resilience, their own strength. And of course, food and nutrition and different herbs and things of that nature, we need to get that into our system. But what we're talking about here is how do we help optimize the part of our body that is the interface with life, the nervous system, the interface.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to chime in real quick with that? Because I'm going to show a video. I did an interview with Dr. Richard Barwell. He's the CEO of NeuroInfinity, and they study brain function and brain waves in response to whatever modality of care. So he's been studying chiropractic and all different forms of chiropractic and different energy healing, and they've discovered some phenomenal things. And he gave me the idea, and he calls the nervous system an interface. Mm-hmm. And so anybody, if you want to chat, pop in here, all the docs, please raise your hand. I'll see you.
I can add
Dr. Adrian,
something.
Please chime in.
Yeah, real quick. So as we know, in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord is being nourished and protected by the CSF, the cerebral spinal fluid.
Yes.
That is mostly known to be no bacteria in it, but there are viruses in it to actually. And as Dr. Kevin said, he helps us eat the toxins and the
necrotic tissue, dead tissue.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Just that.
And so the whole point was when viruses became overwhelmingly numerous in the body, is when the body was so polluted. The viruses, the parasites, the funguses that are there to eat away these dead things and these nasty things were so overwhelmed with a backlog of experience. Oh, Beth is here. We could bring her in, and where is it? Right there. And so when people are getting sick in the spring and the winter times, it's really the body's been overwhelmed with pollution, with mental fear and stress and toxins that we eat and drink and that are in our air, and whatever else gets in the body that pollutes it and toxifies it. Hi, Beth. Welcome.
Hi. I apologize. I kept trying to get on and off, but I've been hearing everything, so it's all good. So thank you.
Here we are. We made it. And Dr. Adrian was just giving us an insight into the cerebral spinal fluid and the natural and inborn, so it's supposed to be there. there's viruses in our body and in our CSF that has a purpose. So that's beautiful. All right. So I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to show a few minutes of this interview I have with Dr. Richard Barwell, and we'll dive into that. And then right after that, what we're going to be doing is the doctor's going to do the remote quantum healing work. And all of this conversation and all the video I'm going to show you is about basically giving you insight into the amazing nature of your body, the amazing nature of life itself, and that when we nourish it and we provide it with what it requires, clean water, clean food, a clear nervous system, all these things, the body actually automatically has a better existence. And that means you can feel, I'll just keep it simple. You can be good, you can feel good, you can sleep good, all the wonderful things that we all want. All right, Sasha, hopefully this is coming through for you. Let me turn on the video, and we'll get down to it here. All right. So here we are. Let's begin. Yep, got it.
So that's that safety pin cycle, but a little different than what we thought it was. And so now we've got more stresses on us. Now we've got the physical stress of non-adapting, and that starts to interrupt all the other systems. For instance, like heart rate. If your heart rate is high, that's not good. If your heart rate stays high and doesn't go up and down with stress and recovery, that's non-adapting.
Right.
Our life, living, depends on our ability to adapt to our external environment.
Yes.
Our external environment is hostile. It's trying to kill us all the time. And we have this beautiful system inside, this innate intelligence inside that says, I know what I have to do to keep you alive, but I have to depend on that nervous system working right to keep that balance going. So it takes external information and internal information, fires it to the brain, and the brain now has to put it all together and make sure we adapt properly. That's the bottom line, and that's the truth about what life and health really is. Now, nutrition's important. Of course it is. Exercise, sleep. Sleep is critically important, and we're not doing that. You know, how we recover from our stressors, that's critical, and we're just not doing it. And slowly but surely, especially right now with what's going on out there, you got to, what you need to do with what's happening in this world right now is you need to do your own safety precautions, because what's out there, that coronavirus, is a nasty little thing. It's very nasty. It spreads very quickly. And for those of you that have weak immune systems, because of interference with the nervous system, it's a danger sign. So you need to take your own precautions on this thing and do what you need to do to protect yourself and make sure that it's working. Unfortunately, a lot of the chiropractic offices got shut down when they shouldn't be shut down. They should be open and taking care of people to try to get that nervous system working to the best it can, because the immune system depends on information from the nervous system to function at its highest level.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so that is the small clip I wanted to share right there. Let's bring everybody back. Bring the chat up. All right. So
just so you know, we didn't hear.
Well, that's okay. I don't know why you guys aren't hearing it. I know, I do. There's like 1,000 buttons, and I need a producer. So I'm saying to the universe, I need a producer. All right, thank you. All right. So the rest of the world heard that. What he talked about was the nervous system, and that the brain essentially is what powers the immune system. And without a clear and balanced nervous system, then how can we have a high-functioning immune system? And then he mentioned how the chiropractic offices around the world, around the country, have been shut down. And that's actually, and I'll paraphrase and I'll put my own spin on it, perhaps that would be a crime against humanity to close these chiropractic offices. However, so thank you for everyone for participating. So let's get into the actual remote healing component. So what I was helping share, and thank you, Adrian. I loved your comment and smile there about we couldn't hear nothing. We're going to get past all that fun that comedy there, and the whole point is this: we're doing this because there's a way in which our work here as a group has a very impactful effect on you, the physical, on you, the immune system, on you, the nervous system. And so what I'm asking everyone here to do is to, the doctor's going to connect and do the work. You at home, everyone watching, is going to have in their mind what they're balancing in their life, what they're building in their life, what do they want more in their life, and how they can be at a greater peace accomplishing those things. Now, that's my spin on the intention, on the intent of our work. Anyone else before, any of the doctors before, want to mention a thought about the intent of today's work? Adrian, Vesna, George, please. Beth.
Very simply, to grow with the flow.
To grow with the flow. All right. If you like that, if you like growing with the flow, give a thumbs up, because I do. I'm going to give a thumbs up on that one. Thank you. And Vesna, any intent that you'd like to add for today?
Yes, Power versus Force, which is the title of David Hawkins' book. I like that one. It's
a great book, great insights. I think just about everyone here may have read it, so that's beautiful. Beth, Adrian, Sasha, any intent for today?
For me, it's just, to certainly be present as much as possible, and to have this whole situation have me grow and others around me in the world maybe grow and improve ourselves from it.
Got it.
So.
Got it. Thank you. And Sasha, we can see your camera. We can see where you're sitting and all your room there. Just a FYI. And she asked me to tell her that if I saw something I didn't like. So, so that's a big thumbs up on that intention there, Beth. Thank you. Boy, it reminds me of a story in Chinese, little Chinese. There's a character in the word crisis that's the same character in the word opportunity. So this is an opportunity for us. Now, we have to use our imagination. We have to probably go about it in different, unique ways, though this is an opportunity. In fact, I've got to speak about wealth for a moment. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, some of the greatest wealth was secured during those times. I'll just say that. Greatest opportunities occur in tragedy. Funny how the world goes round sometimes. Adrian, Sasha, anything else you'd like to add for our intent today?
I would say grounding.
Grounding.
And making sure to differentiate between the noise and the actual truth.
So right on, profound. Give a thumbs up if you're seeing that and you want to hear more of that. I know I do. So thumbs up all around. Everybody at home, give a thumbs up on the button. Number one, that gets more people connected to what we're doing. That means more power, more profound effect for everyone here on the planet. And Sasha, if you want to chime in with an intent, please do. Otherwise, I'm going to start the music. And there we go. Everyone at home, begin to take that deep breath and prepare yourself for a change, for a shift, for an alignment. Doctors know what to do to get themselves into the zone and connect to the community. And in this community, we're all connecting in what we call the surrogate. And so just allow yourself to make that shift. Allow yourself to know that you can be in greater alignment for yourself, for your loved ones, for the passions that you've been given, for your purposes in life. And that we're helping you align with that in all the intentions that we talked about here today. Man, I just got a comment. It's amazing what happens as soon as we start to mode into this part of the show. What I can feel, and I'm just so grateful for everyone here and everyone who's participating. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're just tuning in while we're in the middle of the remote quantum healing, you're here perfectly on time. So just allow yourself to connect, allow yourself to be at ease, and we're causing a shift in the subtle energy fields of the collective that has connected here and now. If you're getting some value, give a thumbs up. That helps other people connect here and now, regardless of when they're seeing the video. And so we are employing the power of synergy. Just like when people are singing, if there's more than one singer, there's a more profound effect. And so we have a collective of 6 doctors that know and do this remote work. And we've been working together every week. And I can feel that there's a profound effect each and every time, and a different effect each and every time. And it's just a joy to be a part of, and I want you to have this great experience as well. Okay, anybody still working over there? We're good. Dr. George is checking in still. Vesna still checking in. Beth, looks like Beth may be done. Yeah. I got that in the OD. I love it. Dr. George is still working.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
And hit that list one more time.
It's still processing. It's like, you're still working though, George. You're saying you're done, but you're still working. Okay. Very good. So, I'm going to start. You know, of course, I have a little bit different focus than the other doctors here, and I'm making sure this, the program's running and all the music hopefully is sounding okay and not too much. However, when I connected, I just felt my hands wanting to smooth out, and it was all around the mind area, just smoothing it out, letting the worry, the thoughts just to be released, and then this idea of vigilance and radar. So for me, there's this component of, like Adrian said, we need to be mindful of what we're focusing on, and it's also, I think, in these times, keeping our radar up. And there's this way of having our radar up without being overwhelmed by it. That's my interpretation of what I found. So, and then I found some cervical and I found some sacral areas, and just mostly energy versus like a physical domain for me. Adrian, if I could move over to you and find out what did you sense in our time today?
It was a very strong feel of all around. It was very rigid, and the only need that I felt was more being there and sending Reiki, more than doing something specific. And I resonate a lot with what you said about the soothing the mind area. Yeah, it was very very similar.
Which is just great confirmation that when it happens every time in some form or fashion, that what I find correlates with what you're finding or somebody else is finding. It just all goes together, and that's the nature of the intelligence that it inhabits life, that causes life to express, is that regardless. It's informing each of the doctors their part of the concert to play to produce this wonderful result that is a shift in your life. Beth, I'm going to shift over to you now. Tell us about what you found, what you noticed, any insights.
Yes, similar. I didn't really get a lot of adjustments, but I got a few times the right sphenoid, which again kind of just, and then I got like a download. I'm not really sure what to put into words, but just kind of processing maybe, and just letting go. Very few, maybe a sacrum, but that's it.
So let's just talk it out for a second. In KST, the sphenoid, and of course, commonly people will just massage their temples when they're stressed. I saw, it's all good. little stress right there, right? And so this is like the emotional. This is one of the emotional stress areas that's it's part of all the patterns in KST. So, and then you talked about the sacrum physically. That's the other end of the teeter-totter. We have the head on top, we have the sacrum on the bottom. So you were balancing the body. It sounds like in your work, which is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Vesna.
Okay.
What'd you
It
notice?
felt as if I just see one and occiput, and then I had such a deep sense of stillness, and it was it. There's almost like nothing else I could do or move. I thought, oh my God, how am I going to speak when Kevin asked me to speak? It was just so beautiful and intense. This feeling of stillness, and almost tears came to my face. Real feeling of peace and some great gratitude.
So everyone who's watching this, who has watched it, who will watch it, this is the energy that people, these doctors who have become highly specialized in sensing and discerning these areas of nuance of energy. You are also tapping into it. Whether or not you can detect that yet, that's not the important piece. I want you to know, like a truth, that you are aligning with this because you are here watching this video. Whenever you're watching it, because time is not the important factor here. I'll just say that. And Dr. George, tell us what you found, what you noticed.
Again, lots of hollow organs again. 9 of them this time.
Beautiful.
2 of them I would classify as artifact organs, which so organs we don't really have anymore. One on the side, one on the bottom of the foot. I've seen them both before, very unusual circumstances. Don't really want to say much more about where these organs came from or went, but it was a bigger adjustment than usual. Some strange stuff, and maybe because of what you said early on about how the planets are in such alignment that this comes around every now and then, big changes. Yeah.
Well, there's definitely more to what a human being is than we've been led to believe. And in science, I had 2 great interviews this week, and it's like, I think the common misperception is that we know it all already. We are barely scratching the surface of what the brain is able to do, the biochemistry and all the components of what does what in the body. And Dr. George, you said in the beginning, junk DNA. How much junk DNA percentage-wise is there compared to what they studied on the Genome Project? Isn't it like 98% to 2%? I mean,
some silly thing like that.
It's something wild. Like we thought we're going to throw away the majority of this. Like, it doesn't matter. And so what I'm saying is, what it is to be human is way bigger than we've been told, and it's way more profound and way more beautiful. And so this is about, and for me, part of everything I do is about recognizing the greatness that we've been bestowed. And I'm talking about myself now. I personally find I've dedicated myself to honoring that and ultimately sharing that with people so they have personal empowerment. And KST and the work that we're doing here in Synergy Solutions has been the springboard just about at every turn for me personally of helping me shift beyond where I was stuck. So Dr. George, yeah, please, we're going to say something.
I've got another little quip here. There's based on the adjustment I did today, I want to say this. There's more to being than being a human being.
Wow. Now that is deep, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. George. So that might be that's a quotable right there. That we're going to have to turn into an infographic.
Really good.
Yeah. So what a blessing. I'm so thankful for all the doctors that have been here. And if you're just tuning in and you got value, give a thumbs up so other people connect. Give a heart. Make a comment. What did you notice during the session today? And that's important so other people can feel the feedback. And if you want some experience that you can soak up and take on your own time, go to synergysolutionsessions.com. Synergy Solutions Sessions. The link is in the description. And you can download the free there's 3 of them, free sessions to get a real experience. There's some great content in there, and I'm adding more nuances so I can basically turn it into a healing and a teaching and an education video all in one shot there. However, it's dripping out nice and steadily here. So download that product. It's free. It's so you can get experience, because as I keep giving, as we all keep giving, it's helping everyone who connects to this. And I know that we all need a little extra something, and that's a very valuable asset. Any little extra bonus is something very useful in today's world. Any final thoughts before we wrap up today's session, Docs?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would say we are the technology.
We are the technology. Hallelujah to that. Well, thank you once again, doctors, for being here. And this has been another successful session of Synergy Solutions. We'll see you next Wednesday live. And if you want private access to all the bonuses and things that we're doing, get that. Go to the link, get started, and then you'll follow the path to get connected to the private group. Blessings and best regards, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.